Will, one of the real thrills for me as a young broadcaster was to be a part of your group. Guys like Barry Goheen and Barry Booker and Steve Reese and Glenn Clem, and so thrilled 40 years later that this group has hung really tight. You have been sort of the ringleader of that. And to me, that has been when people have asked me, okay, what's special? Vanderbilt basketball for me has always been special because of those kind of bonds.
It really has, and I've talked about this numerous times on numerous radio shows that the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James, the Kevin Garnetts of the world. I feel like there's a part of their life that's missing because they didn't have that opportunity. Yes, they were all good enough to go straight to the NBA, and I get it, but I also consider and say, winning championships is a lot of fun, but what I learned is that a kid growing up to be somewhat of a man, you're still not a man when you walk off campus, but you're older, you're more mature. It's the things you learn. And as you hit it right on the head, George, those bonds that you build, they're still there. I mean, I talked with Barry Goheen today because he's been to Scotland and he called to, we were talking for a few minutes, sharing stories. And, Steve Reese is, as we all know, I'll make this public knowledge, is moving to Georgia because he's a grandpa. He's trying to get closer to the grandkids and, all kinds of stuff. But it's just these guys that we've stayed close with. Perfect example, we get a group of guys every year, to participate in your bowling tournament. And it's not just because of the chicken tenders. It's because of our relationship that we've built with these guys, but also with you.
I've saved the picture. Will, actually, there are 4 or 5 pictures from that night when I was inducted into the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. One of the coolest
You were
pieces
there for that
of that.
too.
Yes, that meant so much to me to have that first group that I was involved in as a little snot-nosed 23-year-old color commentator. And then 40 years later to see that whole, half of that team in the room that night, unbelievably cool.